High in the Peruvian Andes, a mountain appears, painted by the gods themselves. But how did this kaleidoscope of color come to be, naturally or spiritually? To the Quechua people, this is not just a mountain. Vinicunca is a living entity, a spirit. And for science, it's a riddle of geology that shouldn't exist in such pristine form. Each stripe of Vinicunca tells a story: iron for red, copper for green, sulfur for yellow. Compressed by tectonic rage and exposed by melting glaciers. These layers are millions of years old, once hidden beneath the bones of the earth. Now they blaze across the Andes like a geological flag. But who first gave them meaning beyond the mineral? In Quechua cosmology, mountains are not just rocks, they are apis, powerful spirits that guard the land. Vinicunca is one such apu, a protector and a messenger. Locals offer prayers, coca leaves, even silence. Because walking here means stepping into the realm of the divine. To disrespect the mountain is to disturb the balance of nature and soul. For centuries, Vinicunca slept beneath a blanket of ice. Its colors unseen, its spirit unnamed in the modern world. Then the glaciers melted, and the mountain awoke. Suddenly travelers came, pilgrims, scientists, and dreamers. But was this awakening a blessing or a warning from the earth? Today, thousands hike Vinicunca, chasing Instagram dreams, unaware of its spirit. Footsteps echo where prayers once whispered. Local guides like Mateo carry both pride and sorrow. They want to share the beauty, but protect the sacred. Can tourism and tradition walk the same path without destroying it? There's no guidebook that explains how it feels. Standing before the mountain, colors whisper stories only the heart can hear. Some say they feel lighter here, like the air holds memory. Others claim visions, dreams, even tears without cause. Is it altitude, or is it something deeper humming beneath the soil? Mateo's family has lived near Vinicunca for generations. He knows the songs, the silences, the sacred moments when the wind shifts. He walks tourists up the trail, but teaches them to walk with respect. This is not just a mountain, he says. It's a being, and beings must be honored, not conquered. But beauty draws crowds, and crowds leave footprints. Parts of the mountain are fading, eroded by over-tourism, trampled paths, careless moments. The colors once hidden for centuries are being scrubbed away in a decade. Locals whisper that the apu is growing quiet. And when spirits go silent, something precious is being lost. In ancient times, when the land was hurt, the Quechua would sing to it. Not songs of joy, but of balance. Offerings of coca, llama fat, and fire to ask forgiveness. Mateo still performs these rituals, alone, sometimes at night. He says the mountain still listens, if you speak from the soul. Geologists describe Rainbow Mountain as a rare result of tectonic uplift and mineral oxidation. They measure it in layers, periods, pressure, and time. But the Quechua see what science cannot: a pulse, a presence. Vinicunca is both a fossil and a living story. And maybe truth lives somewhere in between rock and ritual. Mateo remembers the first time he saw the mountain unveiled. The glacier had pulled back, just a sliver of color showing. His grandfather wept, not for the beauty, but the message. "The earth is changing," he whispered. That moment never left Mateo. It shaped his purpose. If the stripes disappear, does the spirit leave with them? Mateo fears not just the erosion of soil, but of meaning. He says the true mountain lives in memory, in myth, in songs passed by breath. Even if the paint fades, the story can remain. But only if someone keeps telling it. Some scientists now wonder, was Vinicunca's reveal a warning cloaked in beauty? Glaciers don't melt without reason. Mountains don't wake without cost. This isn't just about Peru. It's a signal to all of us. The earth is showing its layers and asking us to listen. Before the colors fade forever. Vinicunca is more than a mountain. It's a mirror of what we treasure and what we risk losing. To protect it is to protect story, spirit, science, and silence. Mateo still walks the trails, still sings the old songs. He invites you not just to visit, but to witness, to feel, and to remember. Few tourists know that beyond Vinicunca lies an ancient trail, one that links sacred mountains across the Andes like threads in a giant tapestry. Mateo calls it the path of whispers, where the wind remembers the footsteps of ancestors. To follow it is not just a hike. It's a return to something older than time. The Quechua weave their prayers into fabric, colors and patterns echoing the land itself. Red for blood and mountains, green for life, yellow for the sun god Inti. Vinicunca is their loom, their legend in stone. Each stripe a symbol, each footstep a thread. And when Mateo weaves, he weaves what the mountain sings. Every new moon, Mateo climbs the ridge, alone without words. He leaves no offering, sings no song. Only silence, stillness, presence. He believes the mountain speaks loudest when we are quiet. And in that quiet, he says, he feels the earth breathe back. Mateo never attended school, but he learned from rain, soil, and silence. The mountain taught him patience. The wind taught him balance. In his world, wisdom flows from stone, not screens. He says the land does not demand, it invites. And when we listen, we remember what it means to belong. To most, Vinicunca's colors are geological flukes. But to Mateo, each hue is a message, a memory. Red warns of war and sacrifice. Green offers peace. Yellow calls for joy. These are not just rocks. They are language, written by the earth, waiting for those who can read. Sometimes, Mateo says he dreams of the mountain. But in his dream, it's alive, breathing, watching, remembering. He hears it hum beneath his feet, like a heartbeat wrapped in stone. It doesn't speak in words, but in warmth, wind, and thunder. And when he wakes, he walks softer, because the mountain might still be dreaming. At sunrise, the wind rushes over the ridges like a flute. The stone doesn't echo, it absorbs, holding every vibration in its layers. Mateo listens, not just with ears, but with stillness. To him, the sound is not random. It's a message, passed from one peak to another. A conversation between giants, too old for words. Once only the devout made the journey, barefoot, offering songs to the Apu. Now there are vendors, drones, schedules, and selfie sticks. The mountain sees more cameras than coca leaves. Mateo wonders, has it become a stage instead of a sanctuary? Or is it waiting for us to remember how to approach with humility again? Mateo doesn't push tourists away, he teaches. Before each hike, he shares the story of the mountain, the spirit, the silence. Some laugh, some listen, some weep. He knows not all will understand. But if even one heart opens, the Apu smiles. Mateo often says, rainbows don't last, but their memory does. Vinicunca is not just a place of wonder, it's a reminder. A reminder to tread gently, to honor what can't be bought or built. The earth doesn't need saving, it needs remembering. And remembering begins with listening. Long before maps or drones, the Quechua followed stars and instinct. They walked with the mountains, not over them. Vinicunca was a place for asking, not conquering. Mateo still feels their presence, ancestors in the wind, the soil, the silence. Every time he hikes, he feels he's not alone. Vinicunca's fame grew fast, too fast. With beauty came noise, traffic, impact, footprints that don't fade. Mateo wonders if some beauty should be hidden again. not out of secrecy, but to let it breathe. Because not everything precious wants to be seen. Some things want to be felt. Every morning, Vinicunca wears new colors. No two sunrises look the same. Mateo believes that's the mountain's way of teaching change. Nothing stays, everything shifts. But meaning can still remain if we hold it with care. Just like the rainbow, fading, yet unforgettable. When you reach Vinicunca, don't just take a photo. Bring a story, a question, a stillness. The mountain doesn't ask for money or fame, it asks for presence. Mateo says each visitor leaves something behind, energy, intention, or indifference. So ask yourself, what will you leave behind, and what will you carry home? The world may forget Vinicunca when trends fade. But the mountain will remain, watching, remembering, enduring. Mateo says the Apu writes in wind, not ink. Its messages aren't in headlines, but in hearts. And those who have truly listened, they'll never see the earth the same again. Vinicunca doesn't ask you to believe, only to feel. This rainbow of stone holds more than color, it holds meaning. And if we walk with humility, we might hear it too. Subscribe now, not just to our channel, but to the wisdom of the earth. Uncover the layers of Peru. One stripe, one story, one soul at a time.